In our last video, we covered our first conditional statement, and that was the if statement. In this video, we're going to be covering the if statement along with the else statement, because when we use one, it's very typical for us to use them both. So we're going to go and we're going to set our name to something. So last time we used Ryan. So we're going to continue with this, and we checked to see if the name that we had assigned was equal to Ryan, and if it was, we said hello Ryan. So we're going to do that again. So we're going to say if, and then we have our name is equal to Ryan. We want to go and just print out hello Ryan. So don't forget the colon at the end here. That's very important. And don't forget when you go to the next line to make sure that it is tabbed in once. Otherwise it won't work. So just print in hello Ryan. And we're just going to run this just to make sure that it's working. And you can see it's working. It says hello Ryan. We can just change this to a capital R. And we can see it's still working. So what we had a problem with the last time is if our name wasn't Ryan. So when we changed this name to Chris and we tried to run this, it didn't say hello Chris. It didn't say anything at all. So it's not much use for us having a program that can only greet one person or a person with the name Ryan. So that's where we can actually use an else statement. So make sure that this else statement is on the same level as the if. So for example, if you put the else here, it's not going to work. It's not going to be recognized. So you want to put the else at the same level as the if, and then after the else, you want to put in a colon, and then again skip down to the next line and make sure it's tabbed in once, so it's at the same level as this print here. And we can actually copy this, and rather than saying hello Ryan, we can say hello Chris. And if we go and run this now, we can see that it says hello Chris because our name is Chris in this case. And if we were to change this back to Ryan with our additional else statement, it'll print out hello Ryan. So we're going to delete some of this information, and we're going to not use strings anymore, but we're going to use numbers. So we're going to say if a number is bigger than some number, that we're going to consider it as a big number. And if it's smaller than this number, we're going to consider it a small number. And we're going to pick 100 for our example. So we're going to say if the number is bigger than 100, so not including 100, but 101 upwards, it's going to be a big number. And if it's 100 or less, we're going to consider it a small number. So we're going to change this variable from name to num, short for number. And we're going to set our number to 105. And we're going to say if num is less than 101, we're going to consider it a small number. So we're going to print out this is a small number. And we're going to do something similar for our else statement. We're going to copy this print line here, and we're going to print out saying that it's a big number if it's bigger or equal to 101. I've actually made a mistake with my colon. We don't need a colon there between the if and the num. So if we go and run this now, we can see that 105 is considered a big number. And if we were to put 99 in here instead, this should be considered as a small number. We can see this is a small number. And if we put in 101 and run this, we can see this is a big number, and that's what we want because we're checking to see if the num is less than 101. So if it's 100, it should also be considered a small number. So let's change this to 100, and we should see that it's a small number.